This is TWiT.
So let's talk a little bit about these glasses. Obviously, I think this is another challenge in the industry right now is in order to do augmented reality in the ways that by the way, they look fantastic on you.
Thank you.
Oh, and they look awesome like that too. That's great. In this world of, this emerging field of augmented reality, for better or for worse, we jump to this, or at least I can speak for myself. I jump to this idea of like, when are we going to be a Terminator view? Like, when are we going to be down the line to where everywhere I look, it's just augmented and maybe it's built into my glasses that are just my glasses, instead of being a specialized type of glasses that you have to retrofit or whatever. So you have to make choices around the design of glasses. You guys definitely took a different approach with the design of these glasses and how it works with the technology. So talk a little bit about your thinking there as far as the design of the glasses themselves.
Well, as I said earlier, I've been in this space for quite some time, and I've seen there's always a boogeyman around the corner that's going to come get you, and that's what everyone's afraid of. When I was at Valve, Google Glass came out while we were there, and people were running around like, the sky is falling. Google's figured out how to make the ultimate immersive display in Google Glass. And I'm like, no. No. I actually like the Google Glass product. I think it was positioned in the market in an unfortunate way.
Yeah, I have one in the other room. So I definitely have plenty of pictures of me wearing Google Glass. So that happened.
But the problem was... there's laws of physics you have to deal with, and there's cost. You have to deal with this, and then there's physical form factor you have to deal with. And unfortunately, there's no perfect solution that's like the silver bullet that's going to give us the Terminator glasses that are just perfect and totally immersive, because photons go where photons want to go, and things just haven't been miniaturized yet.
Yeah.
And so everyone, like every single year, there's this like scare of like, oh, I heard Apple's coming out with their super immersive AR glasses line. No, they're not. No, they're not. Like, are they somehow like putting a black hole in their optical system to bend light like faster than anyone else? But yeah, maybe. If anyone could, it would be Apple.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
But, even clear back to the Valve days, like Google Glass came out, we ran off to the optics lab, and a couple of us put a Google Glass, mock-up together that actually worked in like a couple days. And we ran around like, this is what it's going to be like. And even after we showed people what it's going to be like, they're like, no, they figured out how to make it work better. And like, no. But anyway, so around our product, the thought we put into it is, we had several dimensions. It had to be super lightweight. It had to be glasses. So for your video viewers I just slipped the glasses on. So you fold the arms out, slip them on. They're 85 grams. Anyone knows how to put them on because they're just glasses. You're not ratcheting things to your head. They have multiple nose pieces depending on your face shape. We actually made them bigger so that you could fit your eyewear behind them. So if you have prescription glasses, you can change the nose pieces around in different ways to make them work well with your eyewear. We went with a white color for first. We did a lot of, so funny. Everyone thinks that we're like fools for doing things, but it's like we put, hundreds and hundreds of hours of research into like, what's the best shape? What's the best color? Or what's the ergonomics need to be? Like we made them white because it's the least polarizing of any color out there.
Totally.
So they'll be approachable by grandma, grandpa, the grandkids, women, men. And they kind of look like Elton John glasses. They're cool.
Do. That's. I'm happy you said that. That's kind of where my mind went as well.
But we just made it proud. There's certain things we couldn't shrink the electronics infinitely small. So we're like, okay, we'll just make parts of it proud. We wanted to make sure that full telephony was built in, so you could speak with your friends over long distances. So it has speakers and microphone built into it that don't cover your ears, so you can sit around the table with your friends and talk to them and talk to your friends remotely. Mm-hmm. And then, the various tracking schemes, we've set that up so that it works really good for telepresence. Like you can track your hand and you can be talking to people, and they can see your hands moving through this virtual space because we really want it to feel comfortable and like you're together instead of being isolated from the world. I mean, the biggest thing for me is like, I want to see my beer and pizza when I'm, playing my games. So like VR was out. That's why I've never been a fan of VR. Because I'm a gamer, I'm a social gamer. And we even put pizza in our video to emphasize that. They wouldn't let me put beer in though.
It is pizza compatible.
It is pizza compatible.
And it does the trick. Now one thing that is different here, and by the way, this is definitely a step up from the Cast AR headset that I saw in person, but that was definitely much more of a prototype. This is obviously a very finished product here. This is basically, well, probably better for you to describe the technology here, but it's basically projecting down from your eyes onto this reflective surface. How does that work so that everybody gets their own view and all that stuff?
Yeah, let me get all sciencey on it.
Great.
So we have 2 HD projectors that are 110-degree field of view, so it fills the entire table with an image. And then we have 2 lenses in front of your eyes, and we actually have patents on this. Those lenses are super efficient. We get 85% of the light that strikes those lenses to go out and then return back to the user's eyes. So it goes out to the game board. The game board has this retroreflective material. It takes all the light that strikes it and returns it back in the same direction. So that means that each user around the table gets their own unique view into this 3D space because light emitted from their glasses are going back to each user. And this has a bunch of virtues that much different than other types of AR systems that have fixed focus. I touched on it earlier. Because we have this projection system and because we can stop down the aperture on the projector, everything is in focus over the entire range. So if you jam your face into the game board, it's in focus. If you're leaning way back, like a couple meters away, it's in focus. So that does something that no one else can do. And our field of view just absolutely crushes everyone else as far as field of view. The limit is you need to use our game board, which is a nice trade-off. We were able to reduce the cost. Like our base kit is $299. Like we're a fraction the cost of anyone else and 4 times the field of view of anyone else. And we've also done some unique things with our tracking system. Way back when I worked at Valve, I'm like, this is going to be the future of tracking. It's going to be completely done in the headset. The images are going to be decoupled from the game engine coming off your PC or your phone. And then all the image stabilization is going to happen in the headset. So we actually take images over USB. So it needs to be USB super speed or USB-C. So the blue port or USB-C.
Right.
And the picture comes up from the game engine into the headset, and then it gets upscaled to 180 frames per second. And then there's a tight loop inside the headset for tracking. So as you move around, it's updating at 180 frames per second, and the image is stabilized and locked to the game board. So one of my favorite demos to show off like this innovation that we've done is that I'll actually have someone looking at the game board, and I'll secretly turn off the game engine, let them sit there for 4 or 5 seconds and be like, you notice anything? They're like, no. Like, oh, well, for the last 4 or 5 seconds, you haven't had any new images sent up to the headset. It's the headset's been doing all the tracking and keeping the image placed on the game board. And so that makes it so flexible that we can run multiple headsets off one PC or one headset off of a pretty modest cell phone that has a USB-C connection.
Right.
And you don't have to, not like VR where you have to have these brute force systems, big macho beefy PCs that can maintain really high frame rate because, we can tolerate 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second, whatever your PC can do.
That's awesome. And so if you're doing multiplayer, it's all plugging into the same machine and so like a phone connection, that would be exclusive to like a single player experience. Is that right?
No, I mean, it's network gaming. So
okay, so you could have like 3 headsets at the same table, all with their own phone. Kind of.
Yeah. So some of our third-party content providers are cross-platform, so you can run the game on PC or you can run it on the phone. And so you can have any combination of multiple headsets on one PC, and you just run multiple instances of the game, and it does normal networking to synchronize the game. And then if it's cross-platform, for instance, that can run on phone as well, then you can just some of your players could plug into a phone, and then it's synchronized over network. And there's nothing special about network gaming, so there's it's just part of all these game engines.